Welcome to another Age of Empires forecasted game, guys. We got here in the color purple playing as Daily Sultanate. It's give you anxiety. So known as GUA. And in the color orange, playing as the Japanese. It's Core. Welcome everybody to another Age of Empires 4 game. We have plenty of content coming every single day, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. There's quite a lot of things going on right now. It's Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, it's usually the time where, you know, family will gather, and a lot of people travel in China, and they love travel. Local flights are really good, actually. You don't have those cheap flights like, you know, Spirit, where you pay like a cheap flight and you get like terrible service. We don't have those here. But we do have cheap flights, and I'm traveling to Shanghai. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'm making sure I record enough video for you guys before I do that. And the reason I'm traveling is because I found a really good deal, because Shanghai is usually a city where a lot of people travel for work. But usually in Chinese New Year, a lot of people will travel to their hometown to visit their families. And not necessarily Shanghai is the right city to do that, because most people go to Shanghai to work, but they need to go back. That means the price to go to Shanghai during those times is extremely cheap. I'm talking about 10 times cheaper, probably, at least 5 times cheaper, maybe. So it's like $30 or so, and it's a, you know, normal flight, like decent flight. And so I'm taking the chance to go there. I haven't been there for so many years, so I wanna catch up. What's there? Definitely a very cosmopolitan city. And also for the return, I'm choosing a time where a lot of people are, you know, starting to work, so no one will travel anymore. So I also have found a really cheap flight ticket to go back. So that's basically what's going on here. Let's go back to what's going on in this matchup. GUA, I'm gonna get their berries, typically, with the Delhi Sultanate. Come on, Mike. There's a sheep here. There's a sheep. Not a sheep lover. Not a sheep lover. I'm a sheep lover. Are you a sheep lover? I love sheep. I love sheep. I love the way they cook it here. At least it's extremely good. Extremely good. Nice barbecue. Apparently, GUA missed on that one. And the good thing about going Delhi, look at this scouting route, is basically going all across the map, checking the map layout for his opponent, checking where are his resources, take a look at the rest of the map, and then finally go back home. And the reason they can do that is because they can gather berries. Now his opponent can also gather berries. Let's see if he went for that kind of a strategy. Not as greedy as I give you anxiety. So, you know, I still have plenty of sheep back home, but that's a good thing. If you have a civilization that mostly get benefits from berries, you should go to the berries first. Get a lot of sheep. That's a lot of sheep. Let's take a look at how many sheep. Core having 11 sheep so far. Meanwhile, GUA having 15 sheep in total. So not a bad number at all. Now we see GUA actually aging up with the Dome of Fate. I've never seen that before, coming from him at least. It's usually, you know, you're between the Tower of Victory and the Tower of Victory, just because you get this extra attack speed for all your infantry for the rest of the game. Whereas Dome of Fate is like, it will give you 1 scholar, you know? Sorry, no, won't give you 1 scholar, but it will give you more discounts on scholars, which is actually a good thing, because 130 gold for each scholar, whereas here it's only 80. So you save quite a lot. You save quite a lot, but you give up on a lot of that military advantage that you have, that you want to have as Delhi, just because you can go for those sacred sites, capture the sacred sites, get passive gold income, keep pumping units, putting those scholars into the production buildings, and then keep pumping units, and then have a really good feudal war. That's what you want as daily usually. And eventually you want to transition into castle. Like if you cannot kill your opponent, you want to transition into castle, get those skips, villagers, fortresses, and then keep rolling. We don't see this one often, so probably Delhi is going to change his strategy against the Japanese, because Japanese is a civilization that love going castle really fast. They love going castle, they love getting those relics, they love getting that Hiroshiro, getting those Mount Samurais or Samurais, whatever is it that you want, you can get it fast. You can get it fast, quick, and cheap. So, well, not cheap, but you know, when you need it's not that expensive. That's all you need when you go fast castle. You want to at least protect the relics. And this changed completely the game, because if you think about it, there are so many variables in this game. Everything, since the map layout to the civilizations that are being played, and the possibilities that you have to decide which strategy you want to use are endless. So now we see Dome of Fate going here. And let's see if GOA wants to go for some aggression. Like really heavy aggression. Like, he doesn't have any villagers on gold, so most likely he's thinking about it. Right, having some gassy raiders here to, you know, raid his opponent. You don't necessarily want your opponent to go castle without taking damage, right? You want to punish his decision. You want to go castle, that means you don't have many units. That means I can do whatever I want with my army. So probably those gassy raiders managed to get something here. Problem is, Scout is not here. The Scout went down for some reason. And unfortunately he doesn't have much vision on it. Meanwhile, for already halfway there to go castle, we fortifying this outpost and make sure he survived the castle age. So looks like Core will be able to go castle really fast without any kind of issue. Archery range coming up for GUA. I get those archers. Now remember, Delhi Sultanate can build walls with infantry, so you know, use those archers to put those walls here on the relics, sorry, on the sacred sites. And potentially wall the maps using infantry instead of villagers, which is a great thing. Now I don't like that much how the fortified outposts for the Japanese look. I mean, I get the idea that Japanese use a lot of wood for their structures, and that's something that is historically accurate, just because bamboo is such a good material against earthquakes. But you know, it looks really similar to the original tower in terms of shape and silhouette. Sometimes I'm having a hard time dealing with, am I like fortified tower or is it like a normal tower? And you know, usually all the civilizations change quite a lot their shape. I mean, from rectangle shapes to roundy shapes. You know, they change quite a lot when it comes to fortify the outpost, but not this one. That's my, I don't know, my suggestion to the devs. From one dev to another, like, I think the visual language for this outpost is not really clear for me. And when it comes to RTS, you know, clarity is key here. Clarity over everything else. Talking about RTS, Stormgate went out at the beta for these days. Make sure to try it out. It's a good game. It's a very different game, but it's a good game. Looks like it has some potential, but at least in my personal opinion, I don't think I'm gonna change Age of Empires for Stormgate. They look so different from each other. It's a totally different game. They're both RTS games, but it's like comparing, you know, Devil May Cry with Dark Souls, both action games, but they're totally different games in a way. Looks like Core already went to Castle Age. Gonna get that floating gate. Hiroshiro is on the stables. Meanwhile, GOA aging up with a compound of the defender. Actually in a very solid position here, because Gassy Raiders don't do particularly bad against those samurais. It's because they have extra bonus damage against those heavy armor units. So, I mean, they don't counter them exactly, but with enough numbers, he should be doing quite good. Careful with the Wololo here. If Anxiety lost the gassy raiders he had. Nice Wololo attempt. Looks like GUA was a little bit greedy here. Try to take down that monk. Fortunately, gassy raiders is not a really best unit to deal damage, especially in low numbers. But he's already on castle, so let's see how he managed things. Because it's not exactly Delhi's strongest point to be on castle with no units. You wanna play the strengths of your civilizations, right? And definitely going fast castle may not be one of those, but it may be the one that you need to use now. And just like these archers are not gonna engage the right unit. These are your gassy raiders. It used to be my teammates, now they're not. Now they're not. Wololo has been pulled here. Small little wall in the middle, just to make sure all the battles happen on the right side, really protecting this sacred site. It looks like it's gonna be the capture now. Now I wonder how important is go to the sacred sites. When you're already on Castle Age, you don't really have that same incentive to go those sacred sites, just because, you know, your opponent can actually go to the sacred sites too. Right, so it takes that little advantage for you, but still all your upgrades are free, so you'll be having a good time. Now the other thing is, I don't know how many scholars GUA is having. Let's take a look. Looks like 4 scholars are there, and you know, you need those upgrades, and these are free for Delhi Sultanate, so won't be using that much gold for the upgrades. He will be using it for units like crossbows. He already have 9 crossbows on the field. Gonna be careful here about with those Mon Samurais. Outposts coming up in the front of the gold. Make sure he can gather gold in peace. He doesn't need as much gold as other civilizations. The farm transition already starting for GUA. Let's go back to income per minute. I'm sorry guys, we're already 12 minutes in the game. We haven't changed it. Court getting back with the second relic. GUA already having 3 relics. Excuse me guys, I didn't notice about this, but he already have the 3 relics. That's a good thing about the Delhi, is that you can get your scholars and position them next to the relics just before you Asia, because you have access to scholars before Castle Age. And then you can just grab those relics really fast. Like those gassy riders. Try to get some raids here, but that's not exactly the right army to do that. These are not veteran yet. Veterans, it takes quite a while for Delhi, about a minute or something, get your veteran units. That always, of course, depends on how many scholars you have. Arab geishas are starting to get into the field. Let's take a look at the Japanese base. A couple of barracks, farm transition, free farm transition for him, just because he has a good storehouse. Village fortresses are also being researched. Need to wait a little bit just to get that that villager production going, while coming out here from the infantry. Gassy riders still alive, of course. Army, fortunately, that was a great Wololo. Like priest is like, mind me if we change. A big army coming here for core. These are already 11 Mon Samurais. This is an army you cannot underestimate. +2 attack coming for core too. Already enter. Like sacred site, not gonna be captured here. Meanwhile, GUA having a lot of food income. Where is his army? His army is not where this big raid is coming. Fortunately for him, there's no one here. So he's gonna lose quite some time until he finds the villagers. Meanwhile, no sun is being gathered yet. Forget about what I just said, he just went to stone. Need to have that keep, protect those resources, and then just keep going, steamroll. Well, looks like GUA is just gonna be Spearman Crossbow. Definitely a powerful combo. Spearman to deal with the cavalry, Crossbow with pretty much everything else. Wolf, gonna scare us for a second. Looks like samurais are starting to get into the mix for Core's army. Odachi also being researched, +4 damage against infantry. Now, not exactly the best unit you want to have. I mean, the samurais, when your opponent has 35 crossbows. But that's not something he doesn't have information. You only see the spearman. Say, easy peasy, boys. Let's go. It's like, forget about the crossbows. Spearman, you need to be where the crossbows are. Now, he says this is a big number of units. Gotta be careful here. Now he's gonna engage. And looks like this barrack may potentially go down. Now, scholars are also here, probably looking to steal those relics. Fortified outpost. Actually, not having any emplacement here. It's gonna be a meatball back, something like that. A couple of the spearmen, not the best unit to raid, but it's you know, it's honest raiding unit. A couple of crossbows are already here, not in the right position. Gotta be careful not to lose the spearman, otherwise the crossbows are gonna get exposed. Samurai pretty much dying one hit. Second victory approaching for GUA. Crossbow numbers still running. Almost have enough stuff for a keep. It goes the keep here in front of the base. Now that's enough the spearman to deal with the samurai. Samurai numbers are gonna be lowering. Little by little. Crossbow doing a really good job. But not enough heavy armor units. Looks like Give You Anxiety is just rushing this keep. Needs to make sure this keep goes up. He pulled a lot of villagers. And this is where his production is. It's the relics. The Yoroshiros. And looks like he cannot stop the keep. And he taps out. Well played. That Delhi Sultanate fast castle is here, guys.